Well, welcome back. We are now live on SUPjunkie.
Yes, sorry for that confusion. The trouble in having two accounts. Well done for finding us, but hopefully you will all have now hopped over back onto SUPjunkie Facebook page, and as advertised, it will be there. But thank you so much for everybody who's tried to show people where it is. We know you've been helping out. So again, if you can now share this live feed to your Facebook pages when you find us, that would be amazing. Thank you so much. Hello, well done.
Right.
So yeah, we're back live, and let's hope that we get all you viewers back. So thank you so much for that. You've been brilliant.
So here we go, Eric Ameda making landfall here, and it's a little challenging. There we go, just digging the nose in a little bit there. The ball Butler's picking that up. But yeah, it's not altogether easy for some, so we've got a mix of very experienced ocean paddlers here and first timers, and yeah, it has been on occasion people have gone for swims. This gentleman clearly hasn't. Exactly. He's going through the transition very casually. Here's Eric again.
Morning,
there
Eric.
We go. And yeah, here we go. Fantastic. So people are taking their transitions very carefully as they go through. We've got Chris McDonald coming through here, and we've got a very small transition area this year. It's yeah, there we go. So right, so you join us in Paynton.
Crazy boys.
Yeah, so we're down here on Paynton Beach. This is the third venue for SUP 12 that we've had, and it's an absolutely stunning morning down here.
Oh, it's absolutely beautiful, and the venue is fantastic. We've got the cars just parked behind us, we've got a little bit of a green, we've then got the hotels. I talked about the hotels when you weren't here and said how good the Red Cliff is. You've then got the promenade, and then you've got the beach, you've got the pier, and you've got the water. And this water here, I mean, a couple of nights ago it was quite wild, wasn't it? And so I think these paddlers are very lucky, depending on their, you know, what conditions they like paddling on. They're quite lucky today that it's not worse than it. You know, it's been quite wild over the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I mean, we've gone into a bit of a high pressure time over here in the UK. It's been really sunny, and the weather has calmed down quite to some degree. Last weekend it was very, very windy down here, lots of surf, lots of wind, and certainly it's not like that. But yesterday, as I mentioned, me and Sarah were out paddling down to Broadsands Beach, which is over the other side of that pier, and we've got Paul Simmons coming through again for his fourth lap. Now he's obviously set his stall up down the end. Here's Susanna. There we go, in a running transition. How's it going?
Good. It's very swelly out there.
It's very swelly.
From in here, how
Yeah.
swelly it is. Yeah. But yeah, loving it. Absolutely brilliant.
Tell us, Suzanne. So this is Susanna Sups on
Hello.
social media, and you were doing this specific race for a specific reason.
Yes, I'm trying to raise as much money as possible for Above Water, which is the charity that raises awareness for drowning prevention. So yeah, so that's what it's all about. A little bit of my own personal challenge as well, but hoping to raise as much money as possible.
Yeah, and you are out in your comfort zone.
Absolutely, it's the first event I've ever done. I've been paddleboarding for about 6 years. I'm a leisure paddler, so this is completely new to me. And I have to say, it was poopy pants time before I got on the water this morning, my heart. But once I got out on the water, yeah, absolutely loving it.
Someone else was saying that they were quite nervous before, but once you get on the water,
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, just
you're dry.
I'm dry at the moment. Fingers crossed it stays that way.
And you don't, you paddle on the river Stour, don't you?
Yes, the river. I live next to the river. Very lucky in the place. So that's Christchurch Harbour playground. I do the sea, and we do a lot of Durdle Door, Lolworth Cove, Coral Paddy Rocks in a group. But don't generally go out and see that much. So this is it's tricky. It's good though. It's, it gets you on your toes.
And you were saying yesterday that you sort of quite taken now with the longer paddles because you're now going for what, 7k to 25.
Absolutely, yeah. A 5k paddle now is just nothing. Like, I never want to get. I won't get out of bed for a 5k paddle. It's got to be 15 to 25k now, and we're already talking about doing a race as a team with the girls that I've been training with, racing Castle next year, and maybe a few others, maybe super stamps.
Great, we love that. We love that you've been inspired.
I have. It's weird. Something's just clicked. Yeah.
Fabulous.
Absolutely.
Well, crack on.
Oh,
Nice
thanks
to
guys,
see you.
and I hope you guys are okay.
Yeah, we're fine.
This is hard work too.
We're fine. We're loving it.
Okay, thank you.
Well
Bye.
done. Keep going.
Don't forget, if you want to donate to the Above Water charity, if you're on Instagram, Susanna Sups, the link is in my bio, or my Facebook page is pinned to the top of my page. So if you can raise any more money today, that'd be amazing.
How is your fundraising going?
Yeah, good. Smashed the target. Even yesterday, just from giving it a bit of a buzz after I'd registered, 50 quid or something. So yeah, the people are still donating. So
Every pound helps.
yeah,
You
definitely.
can help.
Even
Susanna.
£1.
Yeah, even £1 is going to help.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
That'd be amazing.
Support this lady.
Thank
you
you.
so much.
Thanks, guys.
All right,
Bye.
have fun.
Bye.
Good. Nice
Brilliant.
to see her dry. Nice to see her dry. So we have got Paul Simmons, who I think has just. Is he now on lap 6?
I think
I've almost lost-
I think five, but
okay.
no, he's done really well. We were obviously talking to Susanna then, so I don't know where Carlo is at the moment.
Oh,
No, but yeah,
Okay.
Paul's doing absolutely brilliantly, isn't he?
He is.
As you'd
Yeah,
expect.
amazing.
And
And thank you guys for coming back and watching on SUPjunkie. We're sorry for that mix-up this morning and we were on the wrong channel, but you found us and you'll find us now, so hopefully people get those notifications. And what I'd love you to do as well is share this on your own Facebook page so that we can gather more people to watch what is going on here today and hear all the lovely stories from people like Susanna, who, again, out of her comfort zone, and she's just got a nice board from Starboard actually to help her with this event, so thank you so much to Paul from Starboard.
Yeah,
who
Paul
has been
Simmons.
helping. So you've got some skills coming in here on the beach, a little bit of surfing.
yeah,
Good man.
there we go. Good dismount. Not his first rodeo there, clearly.
So we've got individual paddlers today, Simon. We've got other paddlers, haven't we? We've got different kinds of entries.
We
here
have,
today.
we have indeed. So we've got teams. Well done. That was excellent. So we've got tandem entries. We've got team entries. Sharing the love. It's
So teams of 2 and teams of 4.
indeed. Well, the teams of 4. The fields. The field of teams of 4 consists of one team.
It does, yeah.
And a team which is very well known to you. And look at these dog supporters here; they're doing a very good job. There we go. Always very pleased to see their owners. So Sarah Perkins is part of the team of 4.
Yep, she is with Kev Jackson, who is one of the team GB SUP team, and we've got Sarah Marshall, who doesn't paddle a huge amount on the sea, but she is a whitewater paddler, and so she knows about the movement of the water, and she's a very skilled paddler. And then we've got Gavin, who is someone I haven't met or I don't know, but he's a new paddler to the Cardiff group, and he's been I think Sarah used the word conned into coming, but he's a windsurfer and knows the water, so I don't know whether he's on the water yet or whether he's gone out. So I think it was Sarah Marshall who's just gone out, so maybe he's going off next. Oh, there's Sarah there, she's just come in, so
There we go.
I guess
Actually, this is the team,
tag
isn't
is
it?
going on.
Let's, we'll go and have a quick investigate. The elite team over here. Just been talking about them, the team of 4. And here we go. So, Sarah, just finished your latest lap. If we just move to the side here.
Because I'm in a team of 4.
Well, indeed, but the latest lap from the team, because there is an elite team of paddlers turning out here, and so Exactly. So what's the latest? What's the report about conditions? Any challenging stretches?
Yeah, so it's quite choppy on this side. There's a whole patch from really where you come out from the triangles, and then it sort of eases off a little bit towards the orange buoy down that end, so that bit's quite nice. But it is quite choppy in the middle, so you need to keep your wits about you. And then as you get to the pier, it's gets a little bit easier. I found that buoy turn a bit tricky.
Yeah.
It's quite wavy around there, so that's a little bit tricky and changes directions as well. But yeah, it's all good. Lots of people out in the water, a bit of a mixture of paddlers, which is quite nice, you know.
Excellent.
So it's nice and sociable.
Good. And is it all by the left, all by the right? Is that the approach, or is it?
I didn't find that actually.
No.
No, it's just
Excellent.
Yeah,
Well done.
both ways. Yeah, you can feel that the tide is going out, so you can feel that pull out that way. So.
Yeah, lovely. Well, we'll let you get your breath back. It's always good to hijack someone when they're straight off the water. But thanks for your time. Excellent. Right. Good. So here's the rest of the team here. Ward Butler's still doing a fantastic job. So these guys here in the luminous tops here are grabbing the boards and helping the transition, making sure they don't ding any lovely bits of work which are on evidence down here. We've got quite a few here. People are obviously taking a breath, taking a moment ahead of going back on the water.
Yeah, we've got a second place paddler there, Carlo, going out on his Infinity board as well. So he is just second place to Paul, but Paul is way ahead, isn't he?
He is. He had the fastest lap so far on the first lap, which is exactly the right way to do it. We've got Mark Taylor from Grenada. Hi, Mark. I bet the weather in Grenada is slightly warmer than it is here, although we're not complaining because had we been here a week or so ago, it would have been very, very windy.
Yeah, no,
but
it's
thank you for watching. Fantastic to have everyone on here. And just to say, this is a 12-hour broadcast that we're doing here. We're very much here for you who are watching on the live stream. And if you're able to comment and to ask questions or to get involved with us, that basically helps us to maintain things during the day.
Yeah,
so very
absolutely,
much appreciated.
Simon. And we've got so much to talk about. We'd like to call out the sponsors. We want to talk about our Red 6 paddlers. We want to talk about people who are here, maybe not paddling today. And you can see the paddlers coming in now. They're in it for the long haul, and you really have to pace yourself in this race. It's 12 hours, and we've had the team from Barry here just saying it is difficult out there. You may not be able to see it from here, but anybody who knows the water, and the difficulty is over yonder. So here, where the water is coming away from these cliffs, and there's a bit of a reef, as Sarah Perkins said, and you've got some really difficult conditions out there. Some people have done this whole race so far on their knees, and so that just shows you the difficulty, and the conditions we would think are really okay. But there's a bit of a swell. There's some wind on the water. We have got, you can see from the flags here, and let's just give Rest Tube a shout out. Oh, Betsy, thank you so much. We were on the wrong channel this morning, so super professionalism coming from us. Betsy, I saw your message, but I couldn't read it, so I'm not sure whether you are coming down today. It maybe sounds like you're not able to come down, but please follow Betsy Ray. She is the lady who took over the very famous site, which is SUP Racer, which really got me into enjoying commentary and loving the vibe. Very super inspiring from Chris Parker. Betsy Ray is now the new owner, and please do follow her on that, but more importantly follow her on Paddle Daily. So Betsy brings us news from canoeing, kayaking. I think you probably will be covering the DW race at Devizes to Westminster, Betsy. Let us know if you can come. Super Jen, hello my lovely, how are you? Claire Louise is watching as well. We are here for the 12-hour extravaganza. I think we might only be in hour 2. We've got lots to talk about. We find ourselves now on the correct channel, SUPjunkie. Guys, if anybody is watching would like to share this on their own Facebook page and encourage others to watch, because you will have different followers to us, so we'd really appreciate that. We'd love everybody to be watching this and hearing our chitter chatter. There's Glyn and there's a Hawaiian dude running there, looking very festive and summery. It's not so summery today. There's a bit of a chill in the air, but we are only early April, so at the moment we have got Paul Simmons from starboard, who is in the lead, and we've got Carlo from Santa Ana, who is in second place, and for the ladies we've got Tanya Ecker, who is in first place. She won last year, Paul won last year, so they're hoping to carry on and retain those titles, Simon.
Exactly, it certainly seems to be going to form, and Paul set off like an absolute rocket, got the fastest lap for his first lap, and has basically continued going. And we took a little time by the timing truck. What's my time is the place to go. Type in SUP12 into the search field, and you will see the current live results as they operate. We've got some real competition going on here, and there is a bit of a tactical game at play in terms of where they place their boards. But it is getting quite crowded down here on the beach. There is more beach revealed now than there was when we started. We started at high tide, so there was absolutely nothing, and that's where we're going to finish. It is a little bit crowded down here at the moment, and people are taking a bit of a cautious approach to coming off the water. There's the odd little bump as we come in, so people do not want to be nosediving those beautiful starboard and infinity noses into the beach here. It's relatively forgiving. Oh, we've got Claire Louise watching my brother Paul Simmons. Yeah,
amazing.
He is absolutely fantastic. He obviously understands this water and he understands this race as well, and he is doing brilliantly. As we said, fastest lap so far. Here's David.
Hi.
So fastest lap so far, and he's absolutely killing it out there. Fueled by his own secret recipe of
power balls. I think
power balls, dates, oats, chocolate. We're not quite sure what else is in there. He won't tell us, but maybe a future marketing opportunity.
They're clearly doing the trick. So we've got some great people watching. Thank you so much, Jade, Mars, Bill. Joe Pye, how are you, Joe? How are the family? I'm sure you're all getting on the water as you always do. We are so pleased for Holly. Holly Pye, daughter of Steve and Joe, won the head of the dart last weekend, and really, really very, very pleased for her. She is an incredible paddler. I'm guessing she'll be going back to Europe again this year to compete against the European paddlers, which is such good experience, and she's doing incredibly well. So whatever you're doing, Holly, at the moment, keep doing it because it's working. So
So we've got a bit of how many paddlers at SUP12. Thanks, Bill. 102, but I think not sure about 80 in the 12-hour, and the rest opted for the shorter 6-hour, which starts later. I think most people are actually in this earlier iteration, the full 12 hours. We've obviously got a mixture of entries here. We've got relays as well. We've got the team of 4, which we spoke to a little bit earlier, and there are a few teams of 2 as well who are doing it. So lots of different formats, but we've got a few in the SUP6.
Only a few.
Yeah. SUP6 starts at 1 o'clock. So that is that's coming much later, and these guys are doing brilliantly actually in terms of sort of laying in these laps early doors. As we said, in terms of results, we've got a very clear winner. A very clear front
leader.
Leader. Paul from starboard, Paul Simmons, PJ. And he's doing absolutely wonderfully. He's developed quite some gap actually there was quite a gap out there by the time he had reached the first buoy.
Oh, absolutely.
But that seems to have just increased. And the timing of his laps are pretty consistent, round about some 25 minutes, which is brilliant. And we've got some competition. There we go. So Bill, how close is the nearest pub? I think you're popping off midway for a couple of pints. Well, the great news, Bill, is that we're in Paynton. It's a typical English holiday destination. There are not only plenty of pubs, but there's also places to get a fried breakfast. So yeah, do the first lap, fried breakfast, and then just back to the fray.
And we've got on the right hand side, you can see our tandem board coming in there. There's one tandem board here, and when they finished their first lap, they came in and said, not a good idea. So, you know, the individual paddlers, some of them are really struggling with these conditions. So if you imagine, and there we go, you've got you can see them fall, you know, the front guy fell down and it completely dismantled the second guy. So it's a real challenge well done Tanya, good girl. It's a real challenge to stay on a tandem board. So
it's strange about the dynamics on those, particularly an inflatable, because yes, if you do fall down at the front, it basically sends a sort of almost a shiver up the board to the person on the back. A shockwave. So it kind of feels a bit like 18 pints on a Saturday night. Not that I ever reached that.
No, but they're coming in now, and there's a little swell coming, so they've got to just be super careful with that board. It looks like it might be, I don't know how long that board is, but 15, so maybe it's not a super long board like the Red Dragon boards or anything, so it's a bluefin and it is purpose built for what they're doing, I guess, but we might grab a little chat with those guys if they've got time. They look pretty focused on trotting round actually.
They do over the mat. Let's let them run through their transition.
I think they want to run through. I think they want to crack on, so we're not going to stop them. We'll get them.
Yeah.
They're keen, so we'll get them when they want to have a break, basically. So we're not going to give anything away as to who we're chatting to later, are we?
No, we're not. We've got some people joining us from 1:30 British summertime, and we've got some international guests coming on as well. So we did it last year, didn't we? And that really helped us through that sort of 6-hour period where fatigue starts to set in, and our ability to speak seems to get in. And apologies for giving you the burden of much of the first half, Sarah, but I'm laying in the strepsils and the coffee.
Good job.
I'm not sure who supplied this one. Anthony,
yep.
Fantastic. Yep. So yeah, thanks to Anthony and all of the support. But this is all about you who is online. All of you guys who are watching this now, you are our primary responsibility at the moment. And we love having you on here, and we'd love your support. So if you have any questions, if you've got any particular paddlers you'd like us to give a shout out to live and to have a chat to, then we'd be more than happy to do that. And in fact, you'd be doing us a favour. So
we love your questions, basically, don't we, Simon? We love the fact that you're watching. Hello, Claire Conybeare. Thank you so much for watching. Paddle Up is watching, and we've suddenly got more numbers because we're on the right channel, Simon. So
who knew? Who knew that putting it on the right channel?
The one that was advertised.
Yeah, I also put a post on the SUPfm podcast, so hopefully we've attracted a few people across from there. But if you are able to share the link to any groups, particularly on Facebook, and share the love, that would be fantastic, because this is, obviously we've got elite level paddlers here. We've got Paul Simmons, we've got Tanya Ecker, who's a winner of the 11 Cities, which, iconic European race. But we've also got people who are paddling for the first time.
Yeah, we have, and they are. We think those guys are most amazing guys. Yes, hello Claire. Hello Karen Greener. Happy birthday to you. You may have missed it, my lovely. You may have to go back and listen to it. I actually sang you a happy birthday on the live feed. Yep, go Darren Walker. So shout out to Lizzie Knight. She should be on an NSP SUP. Okay, we will look out for that board. Thank you, Paddler.
Well, Darren.
We've got the guys coming here, just walking through. So later you may see a lot of boards on the beach here, and that means that people are either taking a little bit of a break, because they can do that in this race. You do not have to crack on like Paul or Carlo. You do not have to just, be a metronome and running round and beating this race up, which is what those guys clearly want to do, as is Tanya Ecker. But then you'll get the other side of it, which are those people who are newer and maybe not used to this format, and they will take a break, have a little bit of lunch, have a coffee, and that's all part of the vibe here at SUP 12. So Anthony Thornley, you are watching now. Thank you so much for that coffee. That was very worth having, and we will go and get those chocolate croissants in a minute. Thank you. Hi Ali, go Rachel and Mark. We'll be down later to watch. That's brilliant. And hello Bill, thank you for watching. And as Simon has just said, if you could share this link, we would be incredibly grateful. Darren, I think I've just seen him go past actually.
Darren's behind you, Lynn.
Oh, Darren's behind us, yeah. Shout out from
to Andrea Simmons and Darren Walker. So Claire Connor.
There you go. Just like that, live feed works.
Yeah, that's right. We can't promise to offer that exact service to everyone, but happy to do that for Darren and Claire. There we go. That was a very good ride into the shore there.
So
Dave.
Dave.
So again, performing really well. I think
yeah, we've seen Chris McDonald go past as well.
My favourite.
As I said earlier in the live feed, great to see Dave back on the water and being very positive. And we've got Paul Simmons just running here. Actually going to take a mini break. God, there's pebbles.
Now, as we mentioned, Paul won't actually divulge what is in his secret mix here. There we go. There's one for the ladies. Or not. Yeah, exactly. But these power balls that he puts together, and a secret recipe, dates, chocolate, who else knows? Fantastic, thanks Bill. So you can follow the timings on What's My Time results. There is a link there in the chats. Thanks Bill so much for sharing that in there, and you can catch up with all of the live stats there. And
it's lovely that Bill is doing this. Thank you so much Bill. So when I've been watching the last paddler standing, and Craig will testify to this, I've been their sort of stats girl, so any question that comes up, I was in the UK watching the Florida race and just coming up with all the stats. So Bill, you are doing a very worthwhile job, so thank you so much for doing that. Marie Whitehouse, oh yes, Julia Gemma, yep, we've been giving those guys a shout out this morning anyway, but yes, we will send on your love.
Fabulous. Yeah, we really appreciate all of you. We've got Paul here who is launching. It's getting that momentum to get over those little bumps as they come in, and then he's off again. So
I wonder if that is the first, sorry to interrupt, I wonder if that is the first time that he's actually eaten something. So lap 6 or something, he's now on, I think, lap 6. I wonder if that's the first time he's eaten something, but
could well be. I mean, he knows what he's doing. He's obviously had a second place the first year and first place last year, and he knows the landscape. He's got a standard operating procedure which is absolutely locked in by now. And
well done, keep going.
Well done. Right, so here we are, SUP 12. What a beautiful morning we've had so far here. There's a just very slight onshore wind here. You can see the flags here are blowing onshore here, so that will help.
Freshened up a little bit.
It has. It is fresh. It is certainly fresh. Sarah has gone for the full.
Got the full Monty on, look.
There we go. Dressed for the conditions, definitely, but you know, it is a beautiful sunshiny day, and you know, look at the glitter path there.
Should we have a little chat with Duncan?
Let's have a little chat with Duncan.
Shall we?
So
Standing here, come and stand with me. my
Hello,
love.
Junkie.
Hello.
How are you
Hello.
doing?
Hello, Duncan. Let's go over here, get out of the way
Okay.
of the paddles.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming over, because you've not been well and you would be doing this race for sure.
I would definitely be doing. I'm like my feet.
Paddle stroking.
Yeah,
as
yeah,
we
yeah.
speak.
We're in sympathy.
Yeah, yeah. So, but you've come over anyway to support, so
Yeah, yeah.
why?
Well, many reasons, but I'm here with family anyway. So we have built a holiday around well, like you do.
Yep.
And yeah, and I realised at some point, you know, you want to do it, but I actually knew I wasn't going to do it. And my wife was been telling me for 5 weeks that I'm not going to be able to do it, and then at some point I had to admit it as well. So I asked Brendan, I said, can I cancel at the last minute, because I really want to do it if I can. And then at some point I just had to admit my 60-year-old brain had to overtake my 18-year-old brain and had to say, Duncan, you're not going to be able to do it. So I wrote to Brandon and I said, look, I can DJ. And he was like, oh God, thank you. Because I've got a few teenagers who want to DJ and it's going to be chaos. And yeah, and we all know, yeah, it's
Brilliant. So
yeah, it was changing one passion for another.
yeah, good.
You know.
So
So I'm really happy with that.
Yeah, no, and you've got some great tunes, and you've had the paddlers have chosen their top 3 tunes, and you're going to try and play some of those on you.
It's a bit chaotic.
Yeah, you know, it doesn't matter.
No,
Just play some
I
good tunes.
do
I
my
think
best.
That's all that
It's
matters.
just it's the same. It's parallel with padding. I'm just going to do the best.
Yeah, and what do you think? What do you think about this race?
I have kind of a unique perspective on that, because paddling 12 hours is my normality. When I paddle on the Rhine, I know I've done 100 kilometres on the Rhine, and I do lots of long travels, and I originally paddled the Rhine last year, and that was like, you know, as I said to you, it was like, you know, 20 duck 12s after the others. Not exactly, but kind of that thing. So that's my mindset. For me, it's not a normal day paddling, of course, but it's like I'm used to that time and that distance, and just for me, I was like, hey, bloody brilliant, you know. When I heard about it and we talked about it, it was just like, hey, cool, you know. Because last time, like, yeah, you full force you put my hand on the I mean, it was like, because the last paddler standing was happening before that, and I was thinking about that, and like, yeah, can I do 48 laps at 60? And yeah, of course you can. But you know, getting out there and stuff like this, and then this came along, and it was like the perfect compromise.
The answer.
So it was like, you know, and I was thinking about it for a long time, and then you just said, do it.
And do you think this, you know, we keep talking about the vibe there is here, it just seems to be this lovely vibe, because there's such a cross-section of paddlers. You've got the hardcore line racing line going to win through Simmons, and then you've got the,
you've got the SUP Ninja, who's actually, I think he's in 7th or 8th place, so you know, we're on the wrong team, and it's just it's cool. I mean, because everybody's having fun in their own way, and that this format makes that possible.
Yeah.
Because if you've got, you know, the ICF World and it's a sprint, and you've only got 2 minutes, then there's no fucking about, is there?
30 seconds actually.
30 seconds. Oh right, yeah, the new format, yeah. So it's the time that you're doing it, the 12 hours, it's being split over that. You've got you've got the room to, you know, the freedom to be the paddler that you want to be, and it's only going to improve people. There's no way anybody here is going to come out with anything really negative or lastingly negative. You might have a bad experience, but you're going to learn from that, and it's freedom to being the paddle you want to be.
Yeah, and spending so much time on the sea.
Yeah, exactly.
You're going to learn so much.
It is, yeah.
If you want to listen to Duncan's great story of his River Rhine adventure, you can check it out on, you had a good chat with Simon.
Yeah,
We had a very good chat, didn't we?
It was,
In fact, it's the longest episode so far, but it's really worth. I mean, you really sort of experience it alongside you. So,
I have this a little bit of a talent for being able to bring it over to people. Normally, I do it with writing, and I felt like in that sort of podcast that I could bring over a little bit of the actual experience, and because a lot of people, they'll play a paddle, they can do amazing things, but you talk to them and they maybe can't tell you about it. And I think it's nice to be able to do that. And that it is the longest podcast, but the actual talking to me is now about like all the notes after.
Exactly.
So,
and we also talked about your previous career as a professional skateboarder as well.
Yeah, so many talents.
Yeah,
so many talents.
exactly.
But it's a great episode, so please do go and listen to that and all the other episodes in SUP FM.
Yeah, as you were talking about 10 years SUP FM, I was such a cool thing, and I love the way you've got this talent of bringing people out of themselves. I mean, the Bart episode was called Chris Burtish, awesome, because you just get he also has the talent of he's got this ultra planning thing. Which is very unusual, and I think you have to do that to be able to travel over the Atlantic. And he, you said one word, and he just goes off on this it's not a tangent. It's like I am now going to every single bit of detail, and it's such a mind. You see into his mindset. It's very unusual. I love that.
If they're good, you learn so much. I listen and go, oh my God, I've learned that about not just about the people that are being interviewed, but about life or paddling or a skill or something.
It's people have this personal this public personality. Jimmy Carr, I mean he's mad. You're you and your mother, all these jokes and these mad jokes and stuff. The guy is so intelligent. Listen to the Joe Rogan podcast with Jimmy Carr. You will not believe it's Jimmy Carr. The guy is so intelligent, and he has a feel for life. He's the best father in the world. You would never think about him because he's got this public personality, and you get behind that. And that's the power of podcasts. It's just unbelievable.
Listen to all the podcasts; they're great.
Yeah,
So,
every podcast is brilliant.
What time are you
On the mic. What do you mean? I'm not
On the
singing.
decks.
on the mic? I sung this morning.
Have you? Okay. Good luck to you.
What time are you on the decks?
Well, I'm letting music go at the moment and picking my moments. You're not going to be DJing for 12 hours. There's hardly anybody here. When SUP 6 starts, we're doing a bit more, and then at the end as well. And maybe after a little bit of a party afterwards, depending on
Bring it
people,
on. How they're feeling.
Yeah, exactly. Well,
generally they're feeling
my job,
pretty good.
my job to make them feel, to help them feel good.
Well, thank you so much for talking to us. How can
You're
people
welcome.
follow you on social media?
Duncan Flussmensch Holton on Facebook, and Duncan Holton on Instagram.
Yeah.
But one thing I'd like to say is, everybody says you have to do Instagram, but we're stand-up paddlers, and if you look at the age demographic, we're the central, it's 30 to 50, and that's Facebook. Yeah, and it's something
And then
that people
Carlos.
don't realise.
That's why we're keeping those Facebook pages.
So
open.
Carlo.
I think that's That's all right.
So sorry, cut away there because we just had a message from SUP Strength and Endurance Performance Academy. Go Carlo. Yes, the whole SEPA team is cheering for you, and indeed we are. And I've got to say, your man's doing pretty well at the moment, isn't he?
Yeah, hello to SUPA training. We know you well, and thank you for all that you do for the sport. And he's your man. We're going to shout him on. He's doing incredibly well, lying in second place. Went off actually quite late, and so he's lying in second place for an incredibly focused and strong Paul Simmons. So watching that play out later will be amazing, because you never know what can happen in these races. You could get a snaggy little injury, or not feel so brilliant, or anything. Get your nutrition wrong. I don't think either of those two will, because they're obviously playing it to this event. But it's been great fun watching Paul and
Carlo.
and Tanya's killing it too.
And Tanya for the girls is
I think she's staying in. She'll probably stay in third place, but there's a possibility she could. Did you? Greg Wingo talked about this with the difference in ultras, that women are getting closer and closer and closer. And there was a Deca triathlon recently in America. That's 10 triathlons, one after the other, and a woman won it.
Yeah.
Shanta Hill, remember that name?
And it's taken like 30 years, or never been done before.
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
Yeah, I mean women.
The further you go and the further you go into endurance, the higher up the scale women are now.
Yeah,
Greg Wingo was talking about it. What's the way Greg Wingo podcast on Glide and Glide?
Yes, that's another.
Awesome.
I'm still halfway through that, but
Okay.
yeah, he's a legend, and he has some great stories about endurance runners and females as well. And he just said, please enter, because we cannot break that.
You can't win if you don't
barrier
enter.
if
You
we're not
can't.
entering, so-
And it's obviously there's a part of its mindset because women are not as strong as men. But if you hear that as well, it's going to drag you down further.
Yeah.
So that is changing now, and it's amazing.
Yeah,
I mean,
we can do that. And he did say about last paddle standing, it's not if a woman will win it, it's when.
Yeah,
it
yeah,
will happen.
exactly,
So
yeah,
he's very pro. He just knows athletes, and he just knows that women.
That
athletes are
shows
amazing.
Greg Wingo's mindset, because he said that, and a week later Shanta Hill won this mega. So he's definitely
on the button.
Got his finger on the pulse.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So thank you, Duncan.
You're welcome.
You might speak to you.
I always love talking to you, and I love talking to you.
Take care, my friend.
See you later.
All right.
Cheers.
See you later. Cool.
Right, okay.
Yes, so it looks like Sarah Perkins is going to be getting back on the water for her team. Yep, sorry, we're in your way. So the team of 4, those paddlers have all paddled 1 lap each, and they may change their strategy now, because Sarah was saying that you've just got used to the water, found your sea legs, and then you're off the water for 3 hours.
Yeah.
So it may be that they change their tactics and they paddle for 2 laps or 3, or however many they want.
Yeah.
If they're feeling strong. Let's get Kev. Kev, come in a minute if you don't mind having a quick chat.
Breaking news.
Breaking news.
Breaking news. Just been talking. This is Kevin Jackson, by the way. Just been talking about your team strategy. So you paddled 1 lap each.
Yeah.
Is that changing?
They won't go with my idea, which is to put the youngest out for the next 4, then 3, then 2, then 1. By which time it was
You're listening to the band.
bad.
I don't know why they're not going with that.
No, I can't
Silly
understand
people.
why either.
Sarah was talking about maybe doing a couple of laps each, because you've always put down the sea legs and then you're off the water. So Sarah's on next.
Yeah, we're going one
Still
lap
going
at a
on.
time.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Just to see how the conditions are.
Yeah.
If they settle a bit, they'll probably will go.
Okay. And how was it out there for you?
It was quite challenging over that flat corner.
Yeah, it's that far corner, isn't it? Yeah.
You've got a lot of rebound stuff.
Yeah.
And it's surprising. There must be something in the water over there.
Well, Sarah reckons there's a reef as
Yeah,
well.
must
So,
be something
and you've got this, you've got a slight swell coming in, and those cliffs do have an impact.
Yeah, it's definitely reaching out there. I'm
Yeah,
surprised
amazing.
How much it's, but it's good fun.
And how is it doing it in a team?
I mean, we have a good laugh. Obviously,
Yeah.
it's great from that point of view. But the trick is, well done, Gareth. He's going to be staying warm and keeping as the day goes on.
Yeah, and it is, that breeze has picked up, and the temperature actually drops a little bit, I think, over the last half an hour. So, and if someone, sorry, we're just moving a bit, cut out Emily as well. If you fall in and get cold,
That's
going
going
to have an impact.
It will be a problem because you've got to get changed.
Yeah.
I mean, when I got up this morning, I'd left my board outside the van and there was a layer of frost on it.
Oh no! Oh my goodness, I was up early, but not that early.
That gave me
Wow.
a bit of a shock.
You were in a campsite, weren't you?
Yeah, just 10 minutes away.
And what do you think of this event? What do you think this event brings to the UK race scene?
No, it's totally different in terms of what it brings because, whichever way you do it, it's a challenge. And for people that haven't done any longer distance stuff, they are on.
Yep, well we've got the medics here, we've got an ambulance here apparently, so anybody who's feeling not so brilliant needs to come and talk to one of the team and just be looked
And I think it'll be the motivation of putting wet gear back on the song.
Yeah.
And I think what's happened, looking at it, as I was saying to Sarah, is that the faster paddlers are going to be in their own block, and they're they're pulling right away, and the paddlers that are finding it a little bit more challenging, there'll be a massive gap. And I would suspect there'll be a fair drop out in something if it stays like this. From the paddlers that are not so sure.
It's interesting, isn't it? You talking about the paddlers at the front, but here on this event, no one has got a clue where anybody is unless they go and look at that timing.
That's right.
Tent.
Yeah.
They haven't got a clue. I mean, most people know that Paul is in the top. What do you think of Paul and how he's doing?
Fantastic. I saw him fleetingly last year at the Great Glen when he took off.
Took off like a bat out of hell.
Yeah, he's like that, he went. And then I saw him again at the presentation, about 11 hours later.
But he looks like a man on a mission.
He certainly does, yeah. And I think for someone like Paul, obviously he's treated it as a race, but he's got his own personal.
He wants to beat his last year's record as well.
Yeah, and you can see that the way he wants to do it, and it's fantastic, and that gives anybody that wants to race at this sort of level, that gives them something to aim for.
Gives them a proper benchmark, doesn't it? Those records could be there for a little while.
I think
it's
so.
Great to see.
I think so.
We were chatting earlier to Will Keebley, who obviously, is a young man, he won Oxford, TV SUP first race, he just won ahead of the dart. And he was saying, he sort of quite likes to have a go at this, but it completely impact on his racing, season. He can't do that. I just said, do it when you're older. It's going to be around. So it's a race that you can do, when you're not doing a 5K and you get a 10K race.
And he can step in and step out of this. I mean, the big thing for me for this is that people will have that personal challenge, which is what it's set up for, really.
Yeah.
It's
and to let everybody have a go. There are paddlers who've never paddled on the sea before, and then you've got the racers like Emily King and Paul Simmons, who very used to water. Tanya, who's a legend as well. So
and she's going well at the moment.
She is going very, very well. So looks very steady. All right, Kev. Well, enjoy your next lap. When are you up? Are you up after
next
Sarah?
After Sarah.
So 5 minutes then.
And then
that quick.
Then there'll be a 4 to 5 minute delay.
Everybody can go and have lunch while you're on the water.
That's right.
No, you're amazing. You're paddling well and you're still racing. It's great to see. Yeah, good for you. All right, Kev.
Cheers.
Nice to talk to you. Thanks for your time.
Cheers.
Amazing. Kev Jackson, I'm not sure how old he is, but he's on his pension, I know that much. And he still races, so he's got quite a wide board. He's got a starboard 28 or something, but it suits him, and he's here and he's competing, so he's just amazing. Well done, Kev.
Excellent. Right, so as the finishers come off the water again, and we watched the sort of, some cases, quite tentative dismounts. There's been a few filmed moments. And there's been some very elegant dismounts actually, so it just shows the variety of skill that we've got here, and what a beautiful sight this is. A lovely glitter path, and for those of you who listened to my interview with Tristan Gooley, How to Read Water, you'll know that a glitter path is wider like this when the conditions are a bit rougher, when there's a bit of movement in the water. So you can see that really wide glitter path there, and that indicates the conditions out there. It's not entirely straightforward for people, but
no, absolutely not.
They are still grinding on.
And this looks like Tanya coming in here on the left hand side.
Yeah.
Quite distinctive now in her yellow top, so if you want to look out for Tanya any time, she's got her fluorescent yellow top on and cap. She's on a 404 board, and she is the European distributor and dealer for 404 boards. It's what she's ridden for a lot of her paddling career. So she's going to trot up, she's smiling away there, trot up over that timing chip, plop, plop, plop. And she is coming past us. Well done, Tanya, keep going. Just sort of shaking her arms about there, so she knows what she's doing. So winner of SUP 11 Cities last year, the non-stop, that is 220k in Leeuwarden, and it is an infamous race. It's probably the longest, the oldest, one of the oldest races, SUP races in the world. It was historically a race on the frozen canals, wasn't it? And now it's a SUP race, and I still haven't been. It always clashes with something. It's always at the beginning of September, and that's not an excuse. That's just a reality that I haven't been able to get there. But I really want to go because, again, I think they have one of the most amazing vibes in the SUP racing industry. Their event is so well attended by, again, like this, you know, you've got your very experienced paddlers like Tanya, and then you've got your beginners, and it is the people who run it, you know, they are supposed to be absolutely amazing.
Yeah, and certainly that's what you see. So there's two variations of the 11 cities, and as you said, it started off as an ice skating race. So what the people around that area used to do is do this circuit. Obviously, big dependency there on the canals all freezing over to the right degree to allow them to do it. And I think the last time it happened was in the early 90s. Someone might like to check that, but it's obviously not something that's run every year. So there's a variety of different versions, and you know, SUP has been one of the more popular ones, and it's happening every year. And as you say, it's a complete vibe fest. There's the non-stop, which is quite brutal. Over 24 hours of continuous paddling. We've got Paul Simmons coming back now to finish his latest lap, and he's still running, he's still doing brilliantly.
Going in for some more hydration or food. Okay, water this time. So
little and often, I think, which is really
absolutely
useful. I mean, we all know, those of us who've done any form of endurance competition or adventure, how important it is just to keep things flowing, to keep those water levels topped up, to drink before you're thirsty, to eat before you're hungry.
Because otherwise it's too late and you bonk, and that is the end of your time, isn't it?
Well, there is nothing worse. I was cycling up a mountain in the Pyrenees once, which is my sort of worst experience of bonking. Obviously that sometimes means something very different in English vernacular, not on this occasion. And you know, you go almost translucent, and it's very difficult to do anything. So eating before you need it, that is absolutely vitally important. So you can see there how challenging it is just in close to the coast there, and these are very experienced paddle boarders, so always be aware of what's happening behind you.
Yes, always check it out. So let's see who's watching, give them a shout out. We've got Carl Whitworth, thank you for checking in. We've got Tracy Moore and Maria, thank you so much.
Moz Morris, thank you Moz, and Carl.
Joe Pye, well done. Brilliant.
And Anya Williamson, and thank you very much. You give us strength to carry on. I mean, I'm sure there's a song in there somewhere. But
if not, let's make one.
Exactly, yeah. So, but thank you very much for watching, and all of your comments are very much appreciated. We love you watching, and we really appreciate you giving up some of your Saturday. And of course, we haven't mentioned this for about an hour, have we? But if you happen to watch us for a significant proportion, there we go. There's a.
She's laughing away there. She suddenly found herself. Sorry to interrupt. Suddenly found herself surfing and was sort of squealing and laughing and not sure how she felt about it. But
well, some of these people won't have surfed before, and you never know. That might ruin her for flat water paddling in the future. I know that. I know that was the case for me when I caught my first wave. So yeah, that was a good discount. We got Link coming in here. So again, Hampshire paddler, doing really well. Competed last year. Well done.
Yeah, just gonna fuel. All right.
Excellent. Very aware that we shouldn't get in the way of people's mindset here. You need to have a particular type of mindset to grind away and complete these laps, and Yeah, that's a fragile mindset, and the last thing we want to do is to really interrupt that.
It's funny, isn't it? You can almost catch someone's eye and you know that they'll stop and talk to you.
Exactly.
They almost want to.
Yeah.
And then you get others who just sort of a bit more laser focused and no, I've got to get on to my hydration, and Dan is probably someone who'll have a chat with us actually.
Yeah.
He's walked backwards and forwards twice, so and we know Dan pretty well, so we might grab him for a little chat in a minute and see about his experience on the water today. Yeah, your glitter, what's it called, a glitter?
Glitter path.
Glitter path. So I have heard of that before. I think Jo Mosley has talked about that a little bit. She is a big fan of Tristan as well, and reading the water and the cat's paws and fascinating books. Nearly went in there with a Hawaiian shirt on. He's on a Nash, looks like a Nash board there. So these paddlers are doing so well. In the corner over to the left, the paddlers keep talking about it. You've got the cliff coming out, and then you have got the reverberation of the water that
or the clapotis, as we like to call it. So that's a technical term for that reverb that comes off the cliff and then washes back to the paddler. And actually, you know, because it's a natural formation mostly, that should be less and less of an issue. It's more of an issue in the first year when we were operating in Tor Bay and there was a huge water break. We're getting some great footage here.
We are getting
we?
some great footage, unfortunately.
I'm not sure whether the paddlers would be quite as delighted, but it's something that they can watch back on.
Definitely catching us out there. So someone sent us a message, and
so from Carl Whitworth, shout out to.
Simon's needs another Strepsil. So from Carl, we have got shout out to Rick Smith and Jason from SUP Links and Aquapaddle Lincoln, who are out there paddling, giving it their all. So absolutely we will shout them out. So Nicole, thank you very much for watching. Moz, you might get the award for the person who's watched for the longest time, and Tracy, so what is that prize you're calling? The orange
yes, what do we call it? Orange Squadron, an elite team of SUPjunkie supporters who are joining us for this endurance fest we have here. 12 hours of paddling, 12 hours of coverage and 12 hours of watching, or as close as you can get to it. We really appreciate your presence. We're obviously doing this for all of you online viewers at the moment, and maybe for some paddlers who are watching back on that. I know that after the first year, Karen and Bruce were both heading back in their van back up to the northeast.
Oh, we've had a bump there. Oh, that's a shame.
That's David, isn't it?
Yes.
And they were listening to the coverage that we had done the previous day.
That's right. They do that a lot, actually, Karen and Bruce. Every event that they've been to, and every event where I've done some live feed, or we've both done some live feed, they drive back home and they listen to it. Watch it, so we really are very grateful for their support. Really a big shame that Bruce is not here this year, and Karen as well, obviously. Shall we get you up for a little wee chat?
Sure. Always.
Sure. Dan, how's it going? You got a dry suit on today.
Yeah.
Yep.
Temperature control really.
Yes.
When it's windy, it's nice and warm.
And it just dropped a little bit, hasn't it? It feels a little bit cooler.
I was quite hot in the second lap, but got colder.
What board are you on today, Dan?
On the Goes to Australia 26
Yep.
wide, which I thought would be nice and stable for me today, but you know me, I'm not a sea paddler at all, so it's quite hard on the knees.
Yeah. And it's quite challenging, isn't it, out there? You know, from here it doesn't look so bad, but it is clearly challenging.
The swell's moving in both directions,
Yeah.
so it's still bouncing off the roof back out,
Yeah.
which definitely not used to at all.
And is this your third year that you've done this?
Yeah.
Well done, we like that. What brings you back to this event?
Mostly with people.
Yep, thank you.
And you, obviously. No, there's so many people that I've met here that we keep seeing at events, and every year, see them back here again. It's great.
That community, and the SUP community is strong wherever you go. The SUP community is strong.
There must be something about it to keep putting myself through that.
Yeah, yesterday, or was it just to finish with a smile on your face?
I did have a goal.
Okay.
I wanted to do 16, which I possibly still do. So
Was that to beat last year?
10 the first year, 12 the second year. So yeah, see what happens.
So I guess you'd be happy to beat 12.
Yeah.
And then if you get to 16, that'd be fabulous.
Yeah.
Well, we're not going to hold company longer then, we need to go.
Can hold me up a little bit. It's good breakfast to race the castle as well.
And that is, when is that?
2 weeks time.
2 weeks time, so talk to me about that. We're going to talk about other races anyway, and one of those was going to be the race to the castle.
Awesome.
Have you done it before?
Did it last year.
And talk to me about it, tell me about it.
So it's a 40-kilometre race from Nottingham to Newark. You get a nice view of the castle, and then they make you go past it and come back again.
Sounds like the Trent race. They used
Which
to
is
do
great.
that, yeah.
But similar sort of vibe to this really. Everyone's really friendly, really well organised. Going in, came second in the under 12 6 category last year.
And it has to be on an inflatable, doesn't it?
Yes.
And why is that?
Because there's about 10-metre portages that you have to climb out on ladders. So yeah, hardboard's not realistic for that really, and transport there and back. You have to get it on the bus at the end.
Alright.
They take you back to the start for you, which is nice.
Yeah.
I think there's going to be an event village there this year as well, so they're trying to kind of build it up. Pretty good.
And that is run by Patty and Mark.
Yeah.
And they do some pretty interesting races. They've got the Eliminator coming up.
Yeah, I'm away from that.
Oh, are you? So that's another race we'll talk about in a little while. But yeah, the race to the castle looks great, and they sell out very quickly. And I don't know how many entries they've got. Do you know the answer to that?
300 plus.
300 plus. So that's
I know
pretty
that
good
it's
for.
somewhere between 60 and 80 in the 40 foot. 60 and 80.
Yes.
I don't know the final entry list, but when I looked a few weeks ago, it was that.
I mean, that is a really good number for, I believe, that our individual races are growing, which they are, check the numbers, and that is really good to see. I think we're going to push the boundaries of doing different races, longer races, maybe I don't know how many we've had.
4 years now.
Okay, so not
The
long.
first time I
but
did this was very, very new
quite
into
new,
it.
yeah. But a lot of people who've raced for quite a long time, then they want a different kind of challenge. That would be something like Race to the Castle, something with a bit more endurance, or something like this. It's quite an interesting time, I think, in racing.
Much more of a river and flat water paddler, so it suits me.
Yeah. But well, you're doing well to be here and just to be putting yourself out there, Dan. Crack on. And who are you with? Are you with anybody else, or do you know many other people? I mean, you know people here because you've done it for 3 years.
I'm not particularly with anyone. One's over there from there. Come to watch, she still lives down here, so it's quite nice to come back and visit. We'll be there tonight. The order will be Domino's.
Good for you.
Refueled.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're just people that I've met before. Loads of different groups that I can move between.
We've got Moz Morris. Whoop whoop, go down.
Moz.
He's been watching quite a lot this morning.
Moz
Thank
was on
you
our
so
training
much.
paddle last week for the race to the castle. We did 41k last weekend.
Oh, nice. Smashed it.
Yeah.
So, after this, you'll take a break, I'm guessing, for the race to the castle.
Yeah, I'll try and get a short one in next weekend.
Yeah.
This weekend, so
Keep
make the most of
the
it.
muscles moving. Dan, thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Good to see you as always.
Always, yeah.
And off we go.
Good job.
Do need to go. Good luck
Tandems.
with this.
Brilliant. Okay, so let's just catch up on some of these comments. No, there's a comment from Claire Palmer here, very dear to my heart. I've been out occasionally on the Sunday paddle with the Dorset crew, which is a very, very strong group, but a shout out to the Dorset crew, please. Carol Canal, oh, there we go, there's a River Ninja. One more lap. Scott Ford, Ollie Babs, Kate Little Phoenix, Suzanne Patterson, we've just seen Suzanne come through, Anna Sampson. So there you go, well
Good
done
group
to
there.
all of those guys. Peter Knight, who said, Chris McDonald, go fella, show them what you're made of. We will pass that on, Peter. You've been a great supporter of us. You know, last year you helped us through, so great to have you back, and thank you to everyone who is watching, you give us the energy to keep on keeping on.
Definitely. Thank you so much, Peter. Lovely to see your name. Scarlett, thank you for checking in. Joe, we can hardly hear you. Sarah, nor your interview. Okay,
Hearing
so
me
we'll
loud and clear.
have a little check
Okay.
out of those mics. So I'm just going to...
Right, so thank
Okay.
you. We'll do a bit of live. Okay, so it's coming through both sides, but this one's the main one.
Yep.
So
Okay.
we'll
All right, so we will just hold the camera around the other way when we do our little interview. So thank you very much for that feedback, Joe. We couldn't do these things without you, and hopefully get better. So yeah, Dan and I, our chat, hopefully you heard a little bit of it, but we can always catch him again. But we'll make sure that we're facing the correct way. It's a proper challenge. Actually, Simon and I between us have many mics because some don't work, and one of the most important things actually for us is to not have the sound of the sea on the pebbles, because that, I don't know, the mic, any mic really picks that up.
It does come through, and we've struggled at various times with the audio. It's all very well having the lovely visuals, but unless the unless the audio works, then there's no point really. But you know, this is been a fantastic morning already. That the wind's changed very, very slightly. It picked up for a little bit. Those flags are really sort of starting to pick up a bit of pace. From the forecast, it doesn't seem like it's going to get any quicker than how it is at the moment, and obviously it will die off before the end. But that's no consolation whatsoever for the paddlers at the moment who are out there and they're braving this chop. You can see the lines there, very, very close together, so that makes it very disruptive for them. And obviously they're heading to the left, and then to the right, and
yeah, and there's a song in there as well.
Yeah.
And you can see, actually, I don't know if you can see those paddlers out there going left and right and right and left. There are quite a lot of those paddlers on their knees or sitting on their boards and just taking it easy. It is really choppy out there and very challenging. You've got the side chop as well. So for those less experienced paddlers, they are really struggling a little bit, but they're all still smiling and getting out there. The paddlers, when they come in, are being encouraged by the board butlers here to go to the left, as you're watching on your screen, and then the boards are piled up ready for them to get back on. You've got Dan, who's there in his Pro Limit dry suit. Good choice, actually, of clothing today, because paddling at a fairly good pace, you won't overheat in that, and if he does go in, he's going to stay dry. And the lovely thing about this event as well is that you can stop and get changed. Here we go, we've got Chris coming in now. We'll give him Peter, we'll send your love over to him as well. So he is on his new board. He's a new red ambassador, which is really exciting and very, very well deserved for Chris. He does a lot of good things in the paddling world and sports world as well, multitasking in all kinds of sports and everything. So you've got Carlo coming in here from SUP training, so let's give him a shout out.
SUP say go!
SUP say go! He's super focused.
Yeah.
Chris, Peter Knight said go, 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 fella.
Yep, Peter. Yeah, can't have the sea drown out your lovely tones, can we? I presume you were referring to my colleague here, but yeah, absolutely. You want to keep it as clean as possible, and fantastic. Right, should we just have a toddle back up and have a look at the scores on the doors?
Let's do that, and then what we might do is change the phones anyway, because
indeed.
we're aware of battery life for the phones, and because we've got the mic plugged in, we can't plug in the battery, but
we're such professionals, aren't we? Just to remind you, this is not the BBC, so we're very much learning as we go, which is why your contributions on here are very much appreciated.
Yeah.
Right,
let's go and wander up and have a look at the scores, as you say.
There we go.
So we've still got Paul Simmons smashing it out at the front. We've got Carlo, who is in second place for the men, and they are now split between men and women prizes. We've got age categories as well. We've got prizes for the 2-man relays. We've
There we
got
go, a bit of flexing there going on.
prizes for the 2-man and prizes for the 4-man teams as well. Not in age categories, but all the individuals will have age categories as well. So it'll be interesting to see. It'd be interesting to see if
Hang on a
anybody's.
second.
Hang on a second. What's going on here?
We've got coconut lattes.
Awesome!
So, wow, this is fantastic. We've got a field kitchen operating here.
Coconut milk.
So we had a big shout out to the Dorset crew: Carol Canal, Scott Ford, Ollie Babs, Kate Little Phoenix, Suzanne Patterson, don't know who she is, Anna Sampson. That's from Claire Plum.
I give her a wave. Absolutely.
Excellent, good stuff. Wonderful, that looks good.
Love it.
There you
Coconut
go.
lattes. Oh, look at you! How you doing?
Right. The Rebel Yell. We got Kevin getting ready
Here he goes
to
again.
get buckled up, ready for action. And here we have the scores on the doors. Let's have a look at where we are here. So no surprises here. We've got Paul Simmons in first place, and again remarkable.
Look at those times. Look at these. Look. 23:38, 23:39, 23:35. What did I say about consistency?
Absolutely.
He is smashing it out of the park. So, yeah,
So
look
we've
at
got
that.
Carlo there. So, you know, this is a long race, and we're looking at about 30 odd laps for the final score, 30 plus potentially. So this is still a long game to go.
So we've got Paul Simmons in first place, Carlo Arias in second, Gavin Simmons in third, Dave Scott in fifth, Kieran in fourth, Kieran in fifth, Paul Drake in sixth, and Eric Armada in seventh, Paul Lawrence in eighth, Chris McDonald in ninth, and Jens Hultquist in 10th. Amazing. Let's look at the girls again, talking about consistency. Tanya in her second lap, 27:59, 27:53, 28:18, 28:23. Again, she's settled into that consistency, hasn't she? So you've got Tanya in the lead, you've got Emily King from Swansea in second place, Dorth Nielsen in third, Lynn Hawthorne in fourth,
Brilliant.
Holly Grist in fifth, Gemma Cohn in sixth, Andrea Simons in seventh, Neem Lee in eighth, and
Neve.
Mark Wade.
Neve. It's one of
Neve.
those awkward
it's one of the
Irish.
Okay, Neem.
Neve.
Sorry, and Mark, who's definitely not female,
Well.
in ninth. Okay.
And then we sort of go back down the scores. So we've got lots of ladies competing this year, and fantastic performance. And then we've got the mixed teams here.
Oh yeah, so look, you can see. So we have our leaders in the twos, which is Downton and Vickers. In second place, Alec and Darren, and then you've got in third place, you've got the team of 4, and then you've got the other 3 two-man teams. So amazing, and the two-person tandem there in 5th place. So that's very, very cool.
Yeah, wonderful, good stuff. Right, well there you go. That's the scores on the doors. And just as a bit of a reminder, again, we're not sure whether this QR code works for on a video, but there you go. Just in case, just push pause there.
Worth a try.
Right, as we work our way
So are we
back
going to
down,
swap the phones over?
I think we will. I think we'll go and stand in the Oscar Propulsion gazebo here. We will swap over, so we will have to leave the broadcast for the moment. But summary of the race so far. We're a couple of hours in.
So exciting. So we had that mass start on the beach. High tide was in, so just enough room for the boards to sit there. We had some going off super strong like Paul Simmons and Carlo and Tanya. Steady Tanya, but she's hoping probably to not even come third in the overall. She would probably want to get more. In fact, let's turn this around because we know the.
Well,
Let's just turn that around so I can actually talk and you can hear us. So yes, some went off super strong, some went off at a much steadier pace. You've got the complete beginners, you've got those Red 6 guys. We'll try and catch up with some of those and see how they're doing. They've been sponsored by Red Equipment and they are out there on the water, never done an event or a race before, so fair play to them. You've then got Suzanne Patton down there making coconut lattes with her team from
let's get a bit of that.
Christchurch and Bournemouth. So we've had a cracking start to this race. We are only a couple of hours in, but we have got a clear leader in Paul Simmons with quite a close second place with Carlo, and they are just on it, aren't they?
Metronomes, aren't they? Just the regularity of those lap times, particularly from Paul, but Tanya, you know, all the usual suspects doing fantastically well,
and while
as expected.
Sorry, my lovely. While we have a break, why don't you just check the link for the What's My Time? Someone has put it in the comments, and you can click on that, and you can actually see all those times. It's fascinating to watch those scores drop in after each lap. Their timer will be updated, and you'll be able to see the live times of how those paddlers are doing and how far they're paddling. It's a 3.5k lap, and they want to crack out as many as possible, and it'll be really interesting to see how many they do, especially with people like Paul and Carlo and Tanya.
Exactly, fantastic. So from the beach here in Paynton, we'll be back with you in a few minutes' time. We'll just take a very brief pause before we're back. Please thank you very much for joining us, and we'll see you on the other side.
See you in a few minutes.